Hey everyone, welcome to week 8. We're right in the middle of things. Let's just kind of get to it. Maybe this will be a slightly shorter video. I'm trying to keep them under, say, 7 or 8 minutes, but that doesn't always work. um, so hopefully you finished your arguing sustainability assignment and that is done and sent away, and I'll be grading it primarily during week 8. I want to get it back to you before the end of week 8, maybe early week 9 at the latest. Just takes me a little while. And the way I grade, and this is just extra information for you, is I tend to read a few randomly, grade the whole group, and then go through the first 6 that I graded to make sure that I didn't have different expectations or graded on a slightly different scale than I did for the others. And usually that makes me pretty confident that I'm grading equitably across the board. Okay, so this week we're focusing on our last project, and we've got weeks 8, 9, and 10 are definitely on the last project. We're on the featuring sustainability assignment, and the featuring part of it, which might be in quotation marks, is that you're writing a feature article. You're writing something that could be in a larger magazine, basically, and that's the style that we're going for. Something that's a little bit looser. It doesn't have to be super personal. It doesn't have to sort of do definitional work. It doesn't have to do argumentative work, although it can do both of those. You can tackle a topic that's sort of bigger and a little bit more flexible, and you can be more flexible and you can put more of the I into it as well. So along those lines, we're going to do 2 things this week to sort of help set us up. So we came up with some ideas for our feature article at the end of last week. I'll respond to those as quick as I can. And then I'm going to ask you to do a couple more things. One is a feature article pitch, and that's due on Wednesday. And the reason it's due on Wednesday is because I'm asking you to just write a brief pitch for the article so that I can respond to it as soon as I can. And that gives you more time to work from some of those responses and to maybe ask a follow-up question or change tack a little bit and decide to do something slightly different or investigate new resources before project is due at the end of week 10. So that's why it's due on a Wednesday. I want to make sure I give you enough time to work with some of the things that I might have to say about it. And really my goal there is to respond to your pitch with more ideas. I just want to be somebody that you can bounce ideas off of, where I can give you my best advice for it. I'm not going to say no to anybody's pitch. But I do want to make sure we get that. So that's due on Wednesday, February 26th. So I'll have, hopefully the end of that week, I'll just be responding to pitches and I'll get stuff back to you on the weekend after week 8. And I'm going to ask you to do 4 things in this pitch. One is, what's the topic you want to write about it? 2, why is this topic interesting and important to readers? 3, what existing articles are out there that you're going to look at and that you think are also on this same topic. And what I mean by articles, I'm not looking for scientific articles, I'm not looking for research projects. I'm really just saying, what similar kinds of things? Do you see something in other magazines? Do you see other kinds of articles like the one that you want to write? On the same topic-ish, right? So something similar, but not quite what you want to do. So what else is out there? And that's often just a Google search, looking through the first GOO of Google in terms of the search terms, and figuring out what terms you need to put in to figure out what articles are out there. So some of that might be just looking for different keywords as well. And then finally, not basically, why you're qualified. 2, why you? It's answering the question, why are you particularly interested and capable of writing this? It might be a topic that's particularly in your major. It might be a topic that connects back to what you wrote in articles or in the first 2 essays for this class. It might be something totally different, but we should trust you on it anyway. So why you? Why are you interested and involved and have some kind of experience or some kind of enthusiasm for this particular topic? This is a mellowed down version of what freelance journalists will do for pitches when they write stories. They often have to do and showcase a lot more research ahead of time, and also showcase a lot more expertise as to why the editor should trust them to write this thing and get paid for it. So we're doing a turn down. We're turning down the volume on those kinds of things, and I'm not rejecting your pitches at all. I'm just really looking for ways to sort of see possible problems that could arise and ways to make your paper a little bit better. So that's due Wednesday. And then later on in the week, I'm going to ask you for a short discussion board post. We're getting towards the end. We only have a few more left. It's really about why you should be in your essay. In that there's a brief chapter called I Need You to Say I, written by Kate Madalena. And she makes an interesting argument as to like why this is at all important in some essay writing and in some article writing. Why it's important to bring your own perspective and your ideas and your experiences and your opinions into this kind of writing. It might seem a little straightforward, but I think it's actually like there's a little bit more complexity there, and I'd like you to respond to that in terms of like why is this important to you? And you don't, of course, have to show up all that strongly in this article if you don't want to, but there's an opportunity to do that if you do want to take it. So those are the two main things that we're doing this week. So that pitch, and the pitch is worth more points. The discussion board post is worth the normal amount of points, but that pitch is due on Wednesday, just to sort of really highlight that. And we'll keep doing a few more things on the way to our featuring sustainability project. But we'll also taper in terms of, there won't be any more sort of large amount of point things that are due after this pitch before the featuring sustainability assignment is totally due at the end of week 10. It's a little bit longer, but not a lot longer. You should have more time to sort of do a little bit more research for it. And then the last project, but the last project was really responding to one article. So we'll talk a little bit more about the project in week 9 and a little bit more in week 10. But week 8 should be a spot in which you definitely decide on your topic, answer some questions, tell me about them, and then start the process of writing it, because I don't want you to write it at the very last minute. I have a colleague who says, in the same way that we're not encouraged to binge drink, we shouldn't binge write. In that, we shouldn't save all of our writing for the last minute. Well, with that thought, I'll leave you to it, and let me know if you have any questions.